Hi, this is Harriet Grayson, your host and the producer of Community Culture Showcase. And I'm so glad to have you here today as we talk about and think about summer. I know it doesn't feel like summer, it's cold and clammy and damp outside, but I know we're promised from the Farmer's Almanac that we're going to have a nice, hot, steamy summer to go with that miserable, miserable winter. So we should be able to be complaining year-round about our weather here. So I'm very fortunate to have two guests from the city of Groton, and we're going to talk about the wonderful activities that go on in Groton. Summer in the City, they call it. And for all of you who have not participated in the past, I urge you to come on down to Groton. They have a whole bunch of wonderful events going on, and we're going to talk about them with our two guests. And they brought us some beautiful props, some lovely paintings to talk about as well. So I'm going to start with Susan Bailey, who is the program coordinator for this summer in the city. So give us a kind of a brief overview of what you expect to be doing this summer.
I'd be happy to, Harriet, and thank you for inviting us today. Summer in the City is a community development initiative, and it is about promoting a calendar of events, which we have many of in the city of Groton. But it's also a community development initiative in the sense that we're promoting our community. The city of Groton is a great little city. It's a wonderful place to live. I live in Groton City. To work, to play, to visit. So we want as many people as possible to know about what we have here. The Thames River, you know, we've got a lot going on.
Okay.
So we have a website that we register events on. Many of the events in every location, including Groton City, are organized by volunteer groups, civic organizations, nonprofits, and they all run on volunteer power.
Okay.
They frequently lack the resources to promote these events. They're putting everything into the event itself. And City Mayor Marion Galbraith and the council had an idea for the city to take on some of that effort for promoting events. We had our inaugural year last year, and it was very, very successful.
Great.
So what event organizers can do is contact me. They register their event on my calendar, and we have advertising packages. We promote the happenings in the city in print, on the radio, on our website, of course, social media. We have a very active Facebook page.
Oh, great.
And we had last year well over 100 events already, first year out.
Wow.
And we're already approaching that, and it's only early April.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
a lot of people are still working on getting their events organized. And I want all of them to contact me and get onto this calendar.
So you want the community organizations that are in the city of Groton?
Correct.
Exclusively the city of Groton?
Your event must be within the city.
Okay.
You could be, if you could, your office can be outside of the city,
Okay.
but if your event is in the city, you are eligible.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
it could be any kind of event.
It can be free, which the great majority of them
Okay.
are, and we're delighted with that because people are looking for free things to do with
Sure.
their families. But it can be a ticketed or a fee event.
All right.
Those are definitely included. And
Can you give us, beside the big ones we're going to talk about, can you give me examples of events that number one, people listening might want to tell you that they want to do something like that?
Absolutely.
As well as the audience saying, oh yeah, I'd like to go to that.
I'd love to.
Go ahead.
Well, we have coming on June 13th is, as I'm sure you know, Connecticut Open House Day. And on Groton Bank, which is the historic district by the monument and Fort Griswold battlefield,
All right.
there are a number of small historical museums on architectural sites and so on. And what Summer in the City is doing is bringing them all together in one package. So we will include all those sites, the Avery Cop Museum, the Ebenezer Avery House, Bill Memorial Library, the Fort Museum, Congregational Church, which is an architectural gem.
Okay.
So we'll have hosts at all of those sites.
Okay.
The Mother Bailey House, the DAR takes that.
The Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's, that's pretty exciting, being able to get in there. There's a lot of history. We have the Groton Bank Historical Association organizing an architectural walk through the district.
Yeah.
Tours at the sites and activities and whatnot.
Right.
So there's that. And all of the details are on our website for that.
Right.
On June 27th, we're having a citywide yard sale day.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and
Get
there
out
will
and
be
clean out your stuff,
yes.
right.
Start sorting,
thinking
start
about,
packing
right,
it. Do it
right,
now.
exactly.
Throughout the city, any resident can have their own yard sale.
Oh.
We are promoting it as a package, citywide yard sale day.
Okay.
They can register their sale address with me.
All right.
And we have posters.
Uh-huh.
There's one on the table.
Okay.
We'll be
Pick it
giving.
up. Yep.
There we are.
Summer in the city.
in the city.
Right, right.
And every registered yard sale will have one of these. So when people are
Oh.
going through the city, that will be up and draw the eye because the blue is quite striking. We will also have a map on our website that people can
Oh.
download. And we're working on an app because a lot of people just go to
Use
an
their
app
phone,
now.
right.
Yeah. So we're working on getting that set up.
That's exciting, very
So
exciting.
that's coming in June,
Yes.
with a myriad of smaller events for families, for kids. We did, last year, we tried a couple of experiments. One was a jazz concert at Eastern Point Beach. And it was so successful that Groton City Park and Rec has picked it up, and there will be a series this summer.
Wow.
Yes, there's one a month. They're evening concerts. It's an incredible place for concerts. Really, really awesome. We also tried out an outdoor movie at Washington Park.
Okay.
And that was really well received. I mean, it's
Alright.
great. You bring, I mean, there were people there with portable cribs and kids and
Sure,
the whole Megillah. So Park and Rec has taken that on, and they'll be doing a couple of those. And that's really nice when we tried the experiment, and it
then
went over so
somebody else.
well that Park and Rec was able to take it
Take it
onto
over.
their
Sure,
schedule.
sure.
We had a motorcycle stunt show, which was hugely successful.
Wow.
We'll be doing that again late August. I don't have the exact date yet.
And
but
where
it
would
is
be the
definitely
physical
on.
location for that?
Washington Park.
Okay, Washington Park. all right.
Washington Park is ground zero for entertainment.
Oh, all
Between
right.
that and Thames Street and Eastern Point Beach, boy, we've got it all.
All right, yes, definitely.
We have, I'm working on another tour. We had a guided tour of the airport last year.
Oh, interesting.
And National Aviation Day is on August 19th this year. I'm hoping to be able to have the guided tour this year on that date. And it's a backstage tour. So it is really interesting. We had a
Wow.
great turnout for that last year.
And that is a functioning airport.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Not
It
for
is.
big commercial jets, but for the private planes and
Correct.
stuff like that? Yes,
They have
okay.
a very active schedule with private planes, people coming for the casinos or performers,
Oh, okay.
business people, executives. Yeah, so they're, and they've got a new restaurant out there now too. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's been
Very-
a long while, so they've
Yeah,
got that
that's
now
great.
too. Yeah.
That's great. Sounds like a big portfolio of goodies out there.
It is.
Yes.
It is, and we want people to come and to know and to really enjoy, and obviously our residents are a big
Right.
part of why we're doing this.
Sure.
But we also, we have EB and Pfizer, and we have a lot of people who work in the city and may leave the city after work. Well,
And don't know
there's
that
a
they're-
lot to
yes,
do.
exactly.
So, go out to eat and come to one of these events.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I have my other guest. So what are we going to add to this wonderful stuff, Mark?
Well, thank you, Harriet, and thank you, Susan. I have the great pleasure, actually, it's a very exciting position for me to be the lead coordinator for 3 of the city's great events this season.
Okay.
Our first one we're going to be launching in June 6th on Saturday,
Yes.
is the Eastern Point Artisan Craft Show and Fair.
Okay. All right.
That is at Eastern Point Beach,
Right.
in and around the grounds of the historic Zabersky House,
All right.
which was named after Stephen Zabersky, who helped the city develop Eastern Point Beach. So that is in honor of him. And that event is very exciting. We had a wonderful turnout last year.
And there is no parking problems there?
There's no parking problems.
Good,
There's no fee.
Right.
We welcome everyone to come. And we have a house full of art and crafts, some of which you see here today.
Okay.
Liz McGee, Lori McLean with some of her beautiful pieces. So the entire house is filled with these beautiful objects to look at and to buy if you wish.
To buy, okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
And outside on the grounds, we have tents full of just about everything you can think you'd want. You can come and you can get a haircut by Danielle's Barbershop.
Oh.
You can get some delicious food by people like
I
Ralph's Coffee Shop and others.
Okay.
We have Children's First Groton. We're going to have cotton candy. We're going to have popcorn. All kinds of fun things for everyone.
Then a dentist appointment afterwards.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to have some fun, if you want to have some excitement, if you want to have something different,
Yes.
that's the day to do it, because
Okay.
Eastern Point Beach just becomes a real, true fair that you think of in the old movies and in the days past that you don't see very often anymore.
Okay.
So
Are you still looking for actual artisans who want to display?
we are looking for
Okay.
artisans to display, absolutely. We are looking for participants on the outside. We have lots of tent space left. We have a plant sale. And we would love for people to clean out their potting sheds, donate their empty pots for us.
Oh, okay.
Donate their plants, clean out your gardens. That's the time to do it. Contact me, we'll take them off your hands.
Oh, interesting.
And we'll
okay.
turn it into a great benefit for Eastern Point.
Oh, interesting. Now, when you say artisans, what kind of artisans are we talking about? Obviously, behind
we
me
have-
are painters and jewelry makers.
We have beautiful arts, as you see here, jewelry makers. We're going to have quilts. We have wood carvings.
Okay.
We have glass
right.
makers. And really just about everything you can think of. We have a little bit of everything.
So we have photography, we have ceramics.
We have photographies, we have ceramics.
Okay.
We're going to have a history tent with local historian Jim Streeter giving talks and demonstrations and pictures on the local history of the area.
Very nice.
We're trying to touch a little bit on everything for everybody.
Oh, that's wonderful. And this, of course, is free. But
Totally free to the
Okay,
public. We welcome you
absolutely.
to come in.
Right.
Yes, we'll have things for sale for people, but most of it is all free to people to come in
Okay.
and to just enjoy. And of
And
course, we
food
know
for
the
people to
weather is
eat.
going to be beautiful.
Yes, after this miserable winter, absolutely.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
Yes.
Yes.
And the children are obviously welcome. The pets you should leave behind.
Pets you have to leave behind. The beach rules.
Yes.
But we're going to have balloons for the children. We're going to have face painting for the children, caricatures. We're definitely welcoming people of all ages, including our senior citizens. We're going to have a dedicated tent space for them to come and enjoy and to sit in the shade,
Oh,
to
all right.
listen to our afternoon music. So we want to.
Have you already arranged for musical entertainment?
We have several music venues lined up.
Okay.
I won't be mentioning them by name quite
Right.
yet because we don't have the schedule set.
Okay.
But yes, we're going to have an afternoon full of beautiful music.
So I also sometimes we have musicians contact to us. So if you're a musician, should we contact you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I am open and available to hear from the entire community. If they have a venue or something that they think they would like to participate in our event,
Okay.
please have them contact me.
Right.
And I would love to discuss what the opportunities are and how we can work together on that.
That's wonderful. Now I want to
Absolutely.
make sure we put that on. That's right. There we go. There's Mark's. His name, and of course the most important thing is the email address
My email
for you to
address.
get in touch with him. So if you're a musician out there, definitely you want to call Mark if you got a little band or something.
Yes.
Under consideration.
Yes.
If you are some kind of artisan, a painter, a craftsman, photographer, whatever, you should
Just-
definitely contact Mark for possibilities. And then if you are a food vendor, definitely balloon people, right? All these kind of
we've got
different.
all
If you
kinds of
entertain,
things.
Mark wants to hear.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Mark wants to meet you if you know how to
I do.
entertain.
That's right.
And one other thing that we're introducing this year, which is going to be new, is we're calling it the junk in your trunk.
Okay.
And we are going to be providing and selling parking spaces. And people can come and park their car, and we'll give them a picnic bench. And they're welcome to have a little mini tag sale right out of the back
Oh
of
my
their car.
goodness. Oh, during
In
this
the-
event.
During
yes.
the event, in the parking lot, absolutely.
Clean out your
He has
closet.
everything.
Hey,
He's
clean
got it
out
all.
the shed.
I have a little bit of everything. Absolutely. This is very user-friendly.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
can bring your smalls to Mark on the 6th. Whatever you have left over, you have it at your house for the 27th citywide.
And we're having the first ever pie contest in the city of Groton, I think.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. So bring your pies.
And you're gonna have a contest. Who's
we're
gonna be
going to
the
have a
taster?
contest. We are going to have 2 chefs from 2 of the local restaurants.
Oh, okay.
And one of the Zaberski House committee members, a volunteer group. So we'll have 3 judges.
Oh, okay. So all you pie makers out there,
All your
go
pie
ahead and bring
makers.
your
spring
start
pies,
experimenting
berry
now,
pie.
and
That's
get your
right.
get your pie up to snuff. Right, and then you'll be able to be judged in a pie contest. So the only thing you're missing is the whole carnival with the Ferris wheel.
I'll put that in consideration. Maybe we can have that too.
You know, I live in Westerly, and of course we have Springfest, which happens in May, and of course that's with the carnival,
Yes.
the Ferris wheel, all of the midway kinds of stuff, and so yeah, but it's not free. So,
Oh, okay. This is free.
I mean, it's not expensive, but it's not free. So being free is actually
And this-
an
this
enticement.
People like that word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Free!
Right, exactly. Yeah, could people actually literally make money? I mean, in other words, if you cleaned out your stuff in your house and brought it over, you're selling
Yeah,
it, right?
absolutely.
You're selling it.
They are going to sell it. They rent the
They rent
space,
that-
and whatever they bring and sell, that's theirs.
That's theirs.
It
Okay.
is theirs, and this is we had our first event similar to this at the Zaberski House last June, and it was tremendously successful.
Okay.
And we had people coming from all parts of the region.
Right.
And it was very, very spirited and a lot of fun. And we're building on that this year to make it bigger and better. So absolutely, the opportunities for people to come make some money for themselves
Right.
is definitely there.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Can I just add
Of
And win a
course.
prize.
Oh, and win a prize.
The prizes have not determined yet.
Yes, yes.
But it could be possibly anything you see here.
door
I'm not
prizes.
telling yet.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that this event, the Eastern Point Artisan Fair, is also the official launch of the 2015 Summer in the City season.
Okay.
So there are a couple events on our calendar in May, but this is our official launch. We'll have a ribbon cutting and municipal officials attending, and really, now we're ready to go.
Right.
And
right.
also on the Summer in the City website, we have a page for this, and each of the 3 events that Mark is leading have their own page, so that as the details are added, you can go and see a complete list of what will be featured at each of those events.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's also
pretty
for
nice.
something for potential vendors to kind of take a look at?
As soon as
Yeah.
they have
Absolutely,
all
yes.
of their forms ready, apply to participate, we will have links to them on the website, and that
Good.
should be very, very soon.
Right. Okay, good. Very good.
Absolutely.
Make it simple. And we do live in this internet age. I'm a Luddite, I like to go backwards, but, it can't be. It can't be, right?
Absolutely. It's tough to keep up with the youngsters, but we
do our
try.
best.
Right. When my granddaughter has a little computer, and she plays with an iPad. I mean, come on. I got to get into the 21st century. Yes. So even I know that. So that's great. So then, what's our next great event?
Well,
That's the June event. That's the
June
kickoff.
event. That is the kickoff.
So the
Our-
only thing you need to add, from my perspective,
Okay.
from my great love,
All
is
right.
fireworks.
Oh,
You're
well,
gonna
that's
have to wait
expensive.
until July for that.
somebody else is already doing that, unfortunately, or maybe we would. We try to think of everything.
Yes, yeah. Like I'm a freak when it comes to that.
We
what
need
I
a
love.
fireworks sponsor. That's
Yeah,
what we need.
and then I can imagine that's something that's A big penny, yes. A big penny.
Yeah. Our next event, which is going to be in July, on July 18th,
Okay.
is Art on Groton Bank.
Okay.
And it is on the grounds of the Bill Memorial Library, which is a beautiful, beautiful antique library in Groton Bank.
Okay.
For those who may not be familiar with Groton
Yeah, they're
Bank,
thinking it's a bank that they go in.
well,
They put their money in.
it's a beautiful antique captain's home type community up near Fort Griswold.
Okay.
And it's truly magical. It's just an area of full of beautiful winding streets with these antique captains' homes mingled in. The library grounds are spectacular, and we take over those grounds that day. And we have again artists such as Liz McGee will be displaying, and we have all kinds of beautiful art and artisans. We ask artists from all over the region to come in and join us.
Okay.
And that's a juried show?
It is a juried show.
All right. So this
absolutely.
is for serious artists.
Yes.
Yes, but we will also, the first time this year, we are going to have an emerging artists tent.
Oh, how interesting.
And that will be for young artists who are just entering into displaying their work at fairs and shows. And we're going to have a tent dedicated to them, which will be very exciting to bring in, again, that youth factor into the program. And we are going to have a book signing tent with local authors bringing in their books.
That could be me?
It could be. It could be. You'll have to talk to me and twist my arm a little bit, and we'll see what we can do. Again, we're going to have some beautiful food from local regional restaurants, and we're going to have also some beautiful music in the afternoon.
Okay.
And we're going to try to have things going on throughout the day to keep people excited and keep things going.
Wow.
Mark, I believe you have some tours scheduled for
We
that
have
event too?
we have two of our local historians who are going to be giving tours of both Thames Street and the Groton Bank area, which will be very exciting. They will be giving some talks and book signings again at the show, but they also will be giving walking tours of both Thames Street and Groton Bank.
Oh, that's very nice.
It's going to be very, very nice. And I've taken both those tours in the past, and they're very different. They're both very exciting. You learn a tremendous amount that you just had no idea how rich Groton City is.
Right.
Between
we have just an incredible historic background.
Thames Street,
really
the
do.
Groton Bank area, and there's going to be an
the
open house.
Revolutionary War on.
Open house at Fort Griswold State Park, which is revolutionary, of course.
Yes.
So you can touch a little bit on the great span of history that is really rich within the city of Groton.
Well, we'll have before that, you get me those historians to come on the show.
We would be
Because-
happy to
love
do
that.
that.
And give me some in advance, some photographs, and we'll show some of if you have some
That would
old
be awesome.
19 or 20th, early 20th
Absolutely.
century photographs, we'll
There-
show it on the TV.
We have plenty and plenty of photographs
That's
to show.
wonderful.
And I think we could twist their arms. I think they
Sure, because
they
I
would
had
be-
Dale Plummer on, who is the city historian
no
from
doubt.
Norwich.
Yes.
And he can't, he's provided us some photographs in advance, and it was a wonderful show because these are revolutionary cities.
Absolutely.
And people kind of neglected and forgot about that, but sort of get Norwich in particular has kind of become a little grimy, but it has this enormously beautiful architecture. Groton, same thing. How many people even know and think about it as having been a site for the Revolutionary War? Right, because people get hung up, it's EB or something like that, and rather than, goodness gracious, this is 300 years of history around
Fort
here.
Griswold is the best preserved earthenworks revolutionary fort in the United States. And it's right here.
Yes.
Right.
Very few people really realize the richness that is
Yes.
within the boundaries of the city of Groton. And again, we have the Eastern Point Artisan Show, which is in Eastern Point Beach, which is a turn of the century vacation spot for many people that would build these beautiful cottages for the summertime. And then we move to Groton Bank and Art on Groton Bank, where we have Groton Bank and Thames Street, which will also be promoting. And then we go to our September event, which is all about Thames Street.
Okay.
And that is going to be Sunday, September 13th. And that is going to be on Thames Street, right on the river, across from the Avery Kopp House Museum.
Right.
And we will be working and having an open house with them as well. So people will be able to come and go across the street. And we take over the entire parking lot right next to Puffin's Restaurant. And we are going to have all kinds of lively music throughout the day.
Right.
Food vendors. We're going to have all kinds of fun, interactive, fun things for people to do. Come down and have children be able to create art. Just interact with the community and with the artists that we're going to have. And then, of course, you can walk right across to the museum. So again, it's another highlight of a beautiful area within the city that people are not always familiar with.
Absolutely. I think Avery Koop is a wonderful example of,
Yeah.
you know, the kinds of places I like to promote. You know, it isn't the places that get all the publicity, it isn't the places that have big budgets, but it is very much a part of our history. And of course, New England has been in the forefront of obviously the Revolutionary War. And although we didn't fight here in the Civil War, we sent our soldiers, and there's monuments
Yes, we
all
did.
over the place to the men who went to fight Lincoln's War. And then World
Absolutely.
War I, World War II. I mean, it's a lot of history here.
Yes.
And people just get so busy doing the going and coming, they have no idea what's
Well,
around.
you know, once you start to learn about the rich historic fabric of our area, you get hooked. And you just want to know more. And, you know, if someone comes to this Eastern Point Beach event on the 6th of June, and you get that first taste,
Right.
you are going to want to be at the other events so that you can get these tours
Sure.
and see the inside of the architecture in these sites that are participating. You know, there is so much here. We have so many resources, and people want to know, and we feel that it's our job to connect them with that.
Okay.
And we also have a very, very rich contemporary art community here
All right.
in Groton and throughout the area.
Yes.
And I am so proud and honored that Mark is heading these events to bring that out, to
Right.
give our art community exposure, to let people know that right here we have an incredible art community. There
Right.
are an enormous number of very talented working artists in our area, and we're so glad that we have this opportunity to give
Very
them.
much so, Susan.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, I think I said just before that so much of the city of Groton is a surprise to people that we have so very, very much to offer. And all three of our events are very, very welcoming. We have wonderful groups of volunteers, including our mayor, Marion Galbraith.
Right.
And as she likes to promote the city as being a great place to live, work, and play.
Right.
And we really work hard to make all three of these events be just that, to show people, not just within the city,
Right.
not just right around us, but all around Connecticut and Massachusetts and Rhode Island, that Groton City has a whole lot to offer.
Right.
And we're going to show you just how much fun we can be.
We know how to have fun.
you know how to
Yes, we
have
do, and we're gonna prove it in June, July, August, and September of this
Right,
year.
okay.
We're gonna prove it.
Is there a place in the city where artists can actually hang their work? I mean, do you have such a thing?
Sadly, we do not.
Well, let
Last
me
year-
introduce you to
Oh, good.
SEC TV right here. We are going to have our first year anniversary, and we're going in respect for all the artistic work we know goes on. We would welcome artists to display their work here. They can actually sell their work here.
What
And
a wonderful idea.
and I'm going to see whether I can investigate whether, in fact, we can even take it one step forward, is that you can display your work here, and we want people to come and see it, but also maybe we can be able to help them sell it.
Your phone may
That's
go
great.
off the hook on that one.
We are really looking for, because we have, this is a brand new studio.
Yeah, it's
And,
beautiful.
It
you
is-
know, I
it is
have had a
beautiful
number of
studio,
artists
yes.
as my guests on my show over the last couple of years. And we have this beautiful new studio with lots and lots of white walls. And so we have a June event coming up. There it is, June 18th,
Yep.
Thursday night. It's going to be an opening night, and so we want everybody to come anyway, you know, a little wine and cheese. But also we want artists to come and give us their stuff in advance, of course. And we'll hang it up on the walls. And we're looking for art that we can certainly hang photographs, we can certainly hang paintings of all kinds, watercolors, oil, whatever you actually work in. And little sculptures, we obviously can't have very big stuff, a little bit of ceramics. I
smaller
mean,
3D.
all of that stuff we'd be happy to have artists come, because I was thinking that in fact there is no gallery space. So, you know, we
Unfortunately,
would
yeah.
like to be, if
Yeah.
we can, we are a nonprofit. We would like to be the community's artistic gallery. If we can,
That's
if
great.
we can play that role, and then we can, as the art is either sold or, you know, people want to take it away, we want to constantly replenish it, so there'll be lots of opportunity from going forward for artists to have a place to display their work.
Well,
That's
what you're seeing here today between the jewelry and the glass and the art is a very small part of what is available
Yeah.
within our surrounding area. Unfortunately, we can't mention, for Spacewise, all of the artisans and artists
Sure.
that we have that are involved in all three of these events, but there are many.
Right.
And they all have their talents between quilt or woodwork or glasswork or something else, or food, but mostly the arts. There's a tremendous amount of talent in the area to be tapped
I
into.
absolutely, I agree with you 100%. And
Yes.
you know, we can't. The studio walls aren't large enough to make believe that we are actually the Mystic Arts Center, but.
Yes.
But we could be the
Gotta start
equivalent of a
somewhere.
gallery.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We would absolutely welcome people to bring their art, and we would, you know, make an effort of promoting this event, and people can buy the stuff that's on the walls in the hallways.
Yes.
And we really want to push that, because we are a community resource.
Yes.
We really take the whole idea of public access extremely seriously, and we really want to be a mouthpiece for the community. And the reason I started the show is to promote the arts and culture of our communities here. And so I take my role seriously, and I want very much for people to either contact you and then contact me, or contact me directly. And you know, we would love to. We want to start this. The first showing would be June, but to continue it indefinitely.
Great.
It's a
great.
win-win for everybody.
Absolutely.
For yourself, for the station, for the artists, and of course for the community.
Absolutely.
And the people that benefit from having all these beautiful things to look at, to buy,
To live with.
include, to live within their own homes. It's rich for everybody.
Absolutely. The quality of life in these communities is actually fabulous. I mean, when you get caught up in the day-by-day grind, and you got traffic on 95, or you're on the streets, you kind of lose sight of that. But actually, these are gems of communities.
Yes, they are.
And then because of that, because we have the ocean, and we have all these lovely sites, and we have parks, and we have open land, artists like to stay here. They like to live here. You know, we would like to make it possible, if we possibly can in a very small way, to see if they can make a living at their work. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right behind me and behind Susan and yourself, you see these views of the artworks behind us, and that's an example of yes, what we have around us.
Yep,
It's
it's all
spectacular
local
between
scenes.
our local scenes and our fantastic sunsets and all the beautiful things that this area has to offer for all of its residents.
You've been kind enough to give us, actually bring in some paintings. If we can, if we could get just maybe a little camera angle on some of these pictures, maybe you could actually describe some of them to us, because I think that the audience,
Certainly.
because will they be in your June show? These
Yes,
particular,
yes,
All
yes,
right, so
these-
here's kind of like a preview of what people might be able to see.
It
So
is, and-
this one right here is a beautiful lighthouse.
That's what you see is the Avery Point Lighthouse.
Okay.
On the grounds of Avery Point, Yukon.
Yes.
Again, it's an historic lighthouse. I believe it was built in the 30s on the grounds of the Plant Estate. And it also shows, of course, a beautiful sailing ship coming into the harbor, which we can see just about every day in the summertime. Ships like that coming and going. And
My daughter was married at the University of Connecticut, Avery Point, right there.
Beautiful.
Right on the Sound. And in fact, we didn't have steamships, but we had plenty of sailboats stopping to kind of participate in the wedding ceremony. They were all watching.
They were helping to provide scenery.
Again,
in the background.
that's our little point of Newport here in the
Yes,
city of Groton.
exactly,
It's our
exactly.
little touch of life in Newport.
And we do
here.
have plenty of marinas and
absolutely.
and the yacht clubs. It's big. So now, if we can move a little bit, and this one.
This piece here, again, was done by our local artist Liz McGee, and that actually was the Blue Ribbon winner of the Nautilus Art Show this past season.
Okay.
And again, it shows the Thames Street area of Groton in the forefront, looking out over the Thames River into New London. And of course, you see the submarine.
Yes,
going
of course,
down the
of course.
river.
What's made the city famous?
And the beautiful sunsets that we have. So that's a really good example of not 1, 2, 3, but 4 things right there that we have right in front of us.
Right.
Between the two landscapes, our submarines. What can we say about our men and women in uniform for the Navy? We love them and we honor them, and we're all very proud to have that as part of our community as well.
Absolutely.
And that's a great representation of that.
That's great. And then we also have behind you.
And behind us we have the New London Light, which dates back to the 18th century as well, over in New London. And it's a little bit of a moonscape going on with our seagulls and friends that we have around us. And again, that's a little snapshot of New London. And they are our neighbors. And New London and Groton works together to make this whole area a wonderful place to be.
Absolutely. And what's important is that this is just a sample of some of the paintings and the photographers.
It's a very small sample of the photographers that we have, the local artists, the jewelers, the craftspersons.
Sure.
This is a very small example of the beautiful and talented work that we have within us.
That's wonderful. And I just to give you examples of, again, these are local artisans, and the work will be on display and many other pieces like this.
Yes.
And a lot of this, if you the sea glass that is displayed on a lot of these pieces is taken up off the beaches right around us.
Right.
So again, that takes us right exactly to what we have. It's a local resource that's being turned into a beautiful piece of art.
And it's wonderful. And we're going to see things just like this and many, many more. Do you have an idea yet how many artists you actually have who are committed to showing up so far?
We have, for the Zabursky House, we right now have already 10 artists or artisans signed up.
Okay.
We have more spaces to fill, so please contact us.
Yes.
We still have room, we have time left. And Art on Groton Bank is slowly but surely filling up as well. We have more room there, obviously, but we are doing very well.
Yes, and people don't understand when they attend an event like this how much work is involved.
There's work involved in this?
In getting this stuff done.
Is there really? I wouldn't
Harriet,
know.
Our summer started in January.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. I know.
did.
It helped
Exactly.
us get through all that snow.
But
yes. Kept you busy.
But not to have an old cliche or anything, but it's fun.
It is.
It's high energy for us. It's
Right.
fun. It's creating something for the community, and I think I can speak for Susan. I know myself
Absolutely.
that we. enjoy doing this.
Right.
It's exciting for us to see, and it's exciting for us when we're at those events that we've created and we see our guests come in with smiles on their faces and with their children and having all that energy. So it's very satisfying.
It is. And of course, what you're probably, as doing these major events, you have to be considerate of, number one, all the city kinds of things that have to happen to make it possible.
Yes.
All the permitting and all of that stuff that has to go on.
There's a few rules and regulations that we have to worry about.
You know,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
bringing in, things like the fire department and the police department to be participants in EMS, to be participants in this
We're
stuff. But-
fortunate to have a city government that wants all these things to happen. That works
Wants them
with
to
us.
succeed,
They want them
wants
to
to
succeed.
work with us.
They
Right.
put
Yeah.
in all their energies that they possibly can. Even our mayor is our plant lady in these events, and she's out schlepping and selling plants and crawling around in the dirt. So the city is dedicated to making these events very successful, and they
Okay.
work with us in a very beautiful way.
Okay, and of course, then getting out the publicity to get the artists, and then the final thing is getting enough publicity out there to get the public to show up.
That's right.
So,
Yes,
yeah, so
that's-
it's kind of this three-tier,
And
constant
exactly.
worry about getting all the pieces in line and stuff like
That's
that.
why we start so early.
Yes.
And obviously there's other beautiful communities around us that also have events that we have to compete with. So we have to do our best to get the word out, to try to set ourselves apart a little bit, that we want them to come see us and what we have to offer. And that's why we work very hard each year to making our events better
Right.
than the year before, learning from our experiences and seeing just how we can make them even better.
Now, you mentioned earlier before we came on, this is the 10th anniversary.
That is the Groton Business Association's
Oh.
Groton Fall
That's another thing
Festival.
that you guys do, which is a little bit different.
Yes,
but,
it is. And that takes you into October.
Yes. So you have something to go to every single, that's right. June, July, August, September, October.
Fun never
And
stops.
we're always planning. We always have something else in the wings working on. I know the Eastern Point Artisan Craft Show and Fair. The proceeds of that go to the Friends of the Zabursky House,
Okay.
which is a local community group set up with volunteers to help raise funds to restore the interior of the turn-of-the-century mansion,
Right.
which is the White House on the beach, the Zabursky House. And so the proceeds, we work very hard to go to that project.
Right.
And we have other plans that we're working on. We're hoping to have a Great Gatsby party this July. We're hoping to have a sort of an Oktoberfest, which we're sort of tongue-in-cheek right now, calling it the Zabir ski event.
Well, you have a new brewery in town, am I right?
We have a
We
new
do.
brewery,
Yes.
we do, and we're hoping to work with them to create a Zabir. It's kind of hard to say that with a straight face.
Yes, absolutely. No, exactly. That's right. All these kind of creative ways to get the
Yeah.
people to kind of understand that the quality of life in their community is really a number one because of all these opportunities.
It is, and that there's a lot of dedicated, hardworking volunteers within your community that are working to make your community better for you.
I'm sure this is true that you're still looking for volunteers to help you, and they certainly don't have to live in
Absolutely.
the city to be volunteers. So that's
No,
right.
no,
So
of
you
course
know,
not.
Mark,
We-
people want to be a volunteer to be outside, hopefully in nice weather, where they can watch and do
We-
things, all kinds of jobs that you need people to do.
And
Yes.
people can contact Mark at his email.
Right.
They can contact me through the Summer in the City website.
Right.
And we're always happy to hear from people that want to get involved in
Right.
whatever way.
Sure.
Some people like to work on the planning. Some people like to work on setting up that day. You know, whatever your area of interest is,
Right.
whatever talent you bring, we would like to hear and talk to you.
Right, and of course you're still, I know, you're looking for business sponsors of all kinds.
Always.
So, you
We,
know,
we already have a number of wonderful sponsors who have come in, but there can't be enough.
Right.
We are always anxious because, again, there's a synergy there. These sponsors are helping us with their support to put on all these events, to promote everything in the city. And we want to do everything we can to publicize their support
Right.
and promote their businesses, because they are local businesses and they are a really important component to our community.
Right, right.
So, yeah.
Yep, so you're looking for both vendors who are not artists as well as artists who want to participate.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then, businesses who might
And-
just want to be there as sponsors.
It's a wonderful opportunity, really, for businesses and local sponsors to come in and promote their own business and such, because most of these events, we don't have any big budgets.
Of course.
We go on a total shoestring.
Yeah, shoestring, absolutely.
And we don't have, let alone deep pockets, we don't even have pockets.
Right.
So absolutely, we welcome and encourage anybody out there, any sponsors out there that want to be a part of our event.
Right.
And we will work with them to make it beneficial, so they get a lot in return for helping us do what we love to do and we want to do.
Okay, that's great.
Absolutely.
And any
all of
business, small, large.
Oh, yes.
And you don't have to actually be in Groton to be.
Oh,
No.
no, we have a number of our sponsors
Okay.
who
No,
are
we-
outside of the city.
We talk a lot, and we want to promote a lot of the local businesses within the city of Groton. But all of these events, all of what both of us do is by promoting our area, we welcome people throughout the region.
Right.
Everybody. We want everyone to come in and to experience our area,
Right.
wherever they come from.
Absolutely.
We are
And of course,
open.
the businesses perhaps want to spread their wings and pick up as clients. People.
Yes.
How many people actually live in the city? Do you know?
I don't.
Okay.
I knew, but I really,
Doesn't it's
Yeah.
it's in excess of 20,000, I'm sure.
yes.
So that's a great
I
opportunity.
refer to Groton City as an urban village because there are more suburban neighborhoods,
Right.
but a lot of it is densely populated, and we have a lot of diversity, ethnic, social, all across the board. So we
Right.
have a lot of different types of people who all bring something interesting to the community.
Right.
And that's part of why we think we're so terrific.
We are terrific.
Yes.
But that's, excuse me, that's why we know we are
Yes.
so terrific.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think it's because it is interesting. You have Navy people here, active Navy.
Oh,
you have
absolutely.
retired because people fall in love with the,
Yes,
especially
many
with
of
the
them come
water
back.
and the land, and they actually, yes, absolutely. And then you do have some kind of other diverse businesses out there that EB brings in, of course, and
We have
and
the
Pfizer.
industrial
Sure.
sections, we have the beach, we
Yes.
have the historic areas. We've got so much going on here.
Right.
And this year is called Coast Guard Summer. It's
Oh,
the
I'm so glad you
100
brought that up. I was going to
it's-
mention
It's
that.
the 125th anniversary of the Coast Guard. And all of our events and all of us in the city of Groton are working with the Coast Guard to work together to promote Coast Guard Summer this year.
We will have some type of Coast Guard component at all of these events.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I met recently with representatives of downtown New London and the New London Day on a project. I'm sure you've heard about the book that the Day is publishing about the postcard in honor of this anniversary. And what they are doing is enlarging some of the photographs from that book, and the two downtown areas on each side of the river will be able to display these in storefront windows,
Oh, how nice.
which will bring art to the street. And they're historic photographs. Some are modern, but a lot of them are historic.
Right, right.
So I think that's pretty exciting. There will be several events out at Avery Point. The COGAP, which is the Coast Guard Art Program, is working with the Alexi von Schlipp Gallery to have an exhibition there of COGAP art. There will
That's
be,
fascinating,
yeah,
yeah.
that's going to be really something. That is artwork that is usually kept in Washington, D.C.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's really, really terrific. Also at Avery Point, there will be a, Jim Streeter, the town historian, is preparing a presentation on the history of the Coast Guard at Avery Point,
wow.
because they had their training facility there.
Oh.
So there will be that. So there are also those things. There has been a Coast Guard anniversary banner has been designed, and it will be displayed on the streets in New London on the light posts.
Right.
We're also incorporating that into the city of Groton. We'll have it representing at our events.
Right.
We'll have it on, the Groton Business Association has a banner program on Bridge Street.
Okay.
We'll be having them down there. We have invited the day to be present at the 3 events that Mark has been talking about,
Right.
to actually have the book, which will be published by then.
Oh, okay.
They're in the final stages of preparation and editing, so that people can see it and buy it, and
Right.
they can promote it, because I have seen it, and it is a beautiful, beautiful volume.
Wow.
It's really, really
And
lovely.
the Day did a wonderful job on New London County. They did two books,
Yes,
one
they
on
did.
kind of pre-war and post
The,
World War
you
II.
mean the Images of America books?
These were just about New London.
Oh, okay.
That the Day produced from either their
They
own
have the one on the
library.
Morgan they did last year.
Yeah, they do it. I don't know who their publisher is, but there's some beautiful
The
stuff.
production values are very high.
Oh, they're
So
exquisite.
Yeah.
I'm delighted that they'll
Yes,
be
'cause
bringing that in.
we bought one for ourselves for the old, like the 19th century, and then we have good friends who grew up in New London, and we bought it for them, and he opens it up, our friend, and he sees a picture of his grandfather.
Oh, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. So they do a wonderful job. And of course, yes,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Too bad you can't get the Coast Guard band to play at your events.
Well, we're
We-
working on that.
oh,
we
good.
are. We are.
There's
We're
nothing
working on
better
that.
than those people.
Actually, we're working on that, different iterations of Coast
Oh.
Guard Band at a number of events.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, we have welcomed them, and we are working with them, and we hope very much that they will be participating to some level in our events. And it's a great opportunity, this Coast Guard summer, to bring Groton, New London
Right.
together, to bring the Coast Guard, the Navy together.
Yes.
All of us that make up this community, to bring it all together. And we had the Revolutionary War last year. I forget what year it was for that, but
Oh, their anniversary.
their anniversary.
I know, I
I
don't
forget,
know the
but-
number, but they're
but-
already planning a celebration for this September 6th anniversary each year of the battle.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to promote, again, the Coast Guard Summer 125, I think is really kind of very special for us this year.
Well, if you succeed in getting the New London and Groton to actually speak with one another, the government alone, that would be a milestone in good cooperation and neighborliness.
Well-
because that has long been an issue about the lack of coordination and coordination.
That has been coming around a little bit, especially with the water taxi that was piloted last year and
Okay.
extremely successful. There are a lot of people working very hard to make the water taxi come back this year, and we really hope that it will, because I know from our event in the Thames Street last year that the water taxi brought a lot of people over from New London and back and
Right.
forth.
Right.
And that really will help bring these two communities
Yes.
tighter and closer together
Right.
than ever before.
And these
Okay.
initiatives, whether it be the Coast Guard anniversary or the Thames River Heritage Park and the water taxi, these are initiatives that are pulling everyone together, because the sum of the parts is so much greater, or the whole is so much greater than the sum of the parts. And, you know, we have, if you've seen the report, and if you haven't, I urge everyone to look at the report on the Thames River Heritage Park. We have just like in Groton, like we've been talking about, we have many, many historic
Oh,
sites in New
absolutely.
London. We have the Submarine Force Museum, and the Thames River Heritage Park pulls all that together. And people from both sides of the river, from both military
Right.
representations here in our area,
Yes.
everyone has been working on these things together. And it is a wonderful thing to be part of. It
Because
really is.
that would be, if you can succeed in using these kinds of events to pull them all together, that would be a great advance.
It's
Yet again,
happening-
another win-win.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's another
And-
win-win for
and,
everybody.
You know, there has been discussion for years about having a ferry boat from Norwich to New London and Groton. You know, the same idea here. Instead of beating each other up, you know, we
Join
can join
together.
together. And
Join
you're right.
together.
It's always, that people think it's a zero-sum game. Not true.
Oh,
Not true.
absolutely
we
not.
can win-win and all join in
Yes.
and make something of it.
We can only benefit by working together as being one big community. We're a very small area. Even if you put New London and
Sure.
Groton and Norwich together, we're still a very small dot on the map.
Exactly.
But we are a rich dot on the map.
Absolutely, with
And
lots and lots
working
of wonderful
together,
things.
Yeah.
we can make each other
You know,
greater than we
are.
we are the city of Groton, and we are Greater Groton, and we are Southeastern Connecticut, and we're all part of that.
That's right. That's right. Well, I want to thank you both for coming. Again, let's give a quick update. What do people need to know about what this summer?
They need to know that the summer is an exciting place to be in June, July, August, and September. We have something for everybody.
That's wonderful.
And you can find it all at the
Yes.
Summer in the City website
Yes,
at www.summerinthecitygroton.com.
very good.
And on Facebook, for any 3 events, you'll find us and you'll find a link to our websites.
And Facebook, what are we looking for?
You're looking for Friends of the Zabersky House,
Okay.
Art on Groton Bank,
Yes.
and the Thames Street Block Party.
Okay, wonderful.
And of course, Summer in the City of Groton,
Right.
Facebook.
Oh, okay, good.
yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I want to thank my guests, Susan Bailey
Thank you, Harriet.
and Mark Whalen.
Thank you.
So he's got a whale in his name, so he belongs
I belong here.
right in the community.
I belong
That's
right here.
Exactly. So I want to thank my guests, and I want to thank my viewers. And please put on your calendars June, July, August, September, and October. Wonderful events here in Groton. And also to keep in mind, we are SEC TV. We are a nonprofit organization, and we are looking to help to become the gallery in Groton. So again, this is Harriet Grayson, your host and producer. We are always interested in promoting the arts and culture of our wonderful, wonderful communities. And I hope you'll join me again next time and have a wonderful, hopefully it'll be a warmer and more beautiful spring.